As we say, a very good afternoon to Nigel Evans, former Deputy Speaker of the House of Commons on a world tour. Where are you now, Nige?
No, I'm back in the United Kingdom. I'm in Bromley.
And you're very excited to be there because Bromley, of course, full of migrant hotels and everything's been going on. Very quickly, yesterday, I know you were Deputy Speaker, Conservative MP for 30 years. You've talked very openly about how Nigel Farage has sort of grabbed the rhetoric, the narrative. Jack Straw today, David Blunkett saying we should leave the ECHR. What did you make of Nigel Farage's performance yesterday, Nigel?
Oh, superb. Absolutely. He is hitting it absolutely where it should be. Any common sense politician knows that what's happening to the United Kingdom, and has been happening for many years, is totally unsustainable, and it's getting worse. You even read about current Labour MPs thinking we've got to do something. And at least, irrespective of those people who say, yeah, but it doesn't really add up, and you can't get rid of 600,000 people, and there's going to be problems. I mean, people were saying this about Donald Trump, and yet Donald Trump hit the ground running as soon as he became president of the United States and has stopped illegal immigration coming into America because he's done a deal with 10 other countries whereby those who are then caught are sent out of the United States to other countries. It's killed the model, and that's what we've got to do. We've got to kill the model. And the problem is, Jeremy, that when Keir talks about getting to the people smugglers, the reality is they've been in a year, and I think there's been one people smuggler taken to court, just one. At the same time, well over 50,000 illegal immigrants have entered the United Kingdom by the small boats. The tipping point has been reached. People have had enough.
And it's really interesting, can I say, for people who are just tuning in, Nigel's a regular to this show. Nigel was very vocal about how his own government had failed. I want to see your reaction. I'm putting you on the spot for a reason. Your leader, Kemi Badenoch, this is what she said about Nigel Farage's immigration policy. Just have a listen. I'd love your reaction.
Imitation is the sincerest form of flattery. The fact is, Nigel Farage is copying our homework. We put out a deportation bill in May. The stuff that actually works and what he said has come from there. But the truth is, he is not doing the thinking, we are. And just like we've seen with the Labour governments who didn't do their thinking in opposition, there'll be a disaster in government, and in particular, a disaster on the economy.
He says he wants to leave the EHCR. You haven't decided that yet.
Well, you will know that in May, we got an eminent KC to review a lot of the treaties which are impacting us, deporting people who should not be in our country. And I have said that we will announce at our conference exactly what we're going to do and how. Saying you're going to leave the ECHR is not a plan. It's going to have a lot of impact on things like the Good Friday Agreement. It's going to impact on so many other laws. How do we make sure that if we have to do this, we do it in a way that doesn't destabilise our country or our economy? Only the Conservatives are working on that sort of plan.
Nigel, forgive me if I simplify this. In May, an eminent KC. It's September. He has grabbed the narrative. She is still saying, oh, we're looking into it. Whilst I understand that, she's left standing, man. He's in the distance. This, for me, sums up entirely where your party's gone wrong. Do you not agree with that?
Yeah, there's the real problem is, whilst Kemi's made great advances, I've got to say, over the last few months, there is still no real announcement. There's no meat on the bone, and that's what people will want. And the real problem is that when you've got people like Jack Straw, who is saying that you've got to do something to the ECHR. He's not saying pull out, but he is going very similar to looking at derogations or suspending bits of it. When you've got David Blunkett, a former Labour Home Secretary, saying something similar, then you know that there's something rotten at the very core of our legal system that is allowing this to happen, that it's giving preference to the illegal immigrants coming in over the rights of British citizens who pay their taxes, who see their tax money being spent on hotels. The next con is going to be, oh, right, we'll close the hotels, but they go into houses of multiple occupancy in the very heart of people's communities. That is not an answer either. There has to be detention centres where people who come in illegally into the United Kingdom are going to be taken. They are already assumed to be guilty of a crime of entering the United Kingdom illegally. They will not be allowed to claim asylum. They will be sent to a third country, and they will be banned from ever entering the United Kingdom ever again.
Have you? I wish I had more time, and I haven't today, Nigel. But two things, very briefly. Have you been disappointed overall in Kemi Badenoch? Truthfully.
I think she's got a lot more to do, Jeremy. I mean, she picked up a poison chalice, let's be fair. A chalice that was basically put down, thrown away by our previous Prime Minister, Rishi Sunak, who failed completely miserably to send anybody to Rwanda. We've got to say sorry. We've got to say we got it wrong. And what Kemi's got to do, and she really has got to do it, and she hasn't got much time, I think actually the party conference is probably a last opportunity to be able to actually put her mark on this policy. And it's to be bold, and it is to talk the language of Nigel Farage, talk the language of common sense, I would say.
Yeah.
And say this is what we're going to do.
But the problem is, surely, Nigel, like he took the lead yesterday, his conference, right, is a month before the Tory party conference. And what he's done brilliantly politically is steal a march on both Labour and the Tories. And they're playing bleeding catch-up, aren't they?
Yeah, and I think part of the problem is this lawyer that we've got, this KC, looking into what the implications of leaving the ECHR is going to be. You get into the problems of we will leave it if necessary. We may leave it. No, people don't want that anymore. They know it is a problem. They know that it is a block on sending people back. If Jack Straw can see it, if David Blunkett can see it, then why can't we see it? And
look at the poll again today. YouGov in the Times, mate. Tories nowhere, Labour sinking, and Reform have taken the baton up. And it amazes me because politics, I'm sure, is made to look like it's difficult, but to me it isn't. You talk about the things that people want to talk about. You try and be as authentic and honest as you possibly can. And, the passion that you talk about the things. I hear passion from you. I don't hear from Tories. I don't. We'll get back to you. Too late for the British people. Starmer. In his tent, so many different facets. He spends all his time trying to rob Peter to pay Paul. I mean, the IMF are coming. Rachel from accounts, who can't add up. We're going to be skinned anyway. And I just think, as I've said numerous times, I think the British people have reached a shed. They've reached a ceiling, and they're not far right. They're just hard-working, tax-paying, non-asking people who feel like they just aren't being treated properly, Nigel. And I think your namesake has appealed right now to that.
Yeah, when you see people taking to the streets in the numbers that they are, these aren't racists. These aren't far right wingers who are taking to the streets. These are normal people who are fed up with seeing what has been happening to their country over many years. Those who are attaching Union Jacks or the flag of St. George to lampposts are making a statement that they've had enough. And the government has really got to listen to that. I mean, the tipping point has absolutely been reached. And people have had enough. It's not only in Britain, it's in other countries too. I know I've seen what's been happening in Denmark, in Sweden, and even in parts of France as well. And people aren't going to have the wool pulled over their eyes. This con about one in, one out for France. We're giving them several hundred millions of pounds. We're going to end up with the same net number of people in the country, plus all the ones that aren't going back.
Quick question for you before you go. You said that Kemi Badenoch has until the party conference to convince the party. If she doesn't, will that make you move nearer to reform?
I think it's going to make... Listen, I'm thinking deeply about politics and policies. There's no God-given right for the Conservative Party ever to exist. On the poll figures you've just shown me now, the Tory party will be down to 20 seats at the next general election.
I've got to go. Nigel Evans, thank you very much indeed. News next.